Welcome to Let's Talk Petty. Remember, we're not petty, but we love talking about it.
We both love talking about it.
Love talking about it.
There it is.
I was so tired, but now I'm starting to wake up.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Kate.
And you're tired.
I am very tired.
You're
but
doing
I'm
fine.
Getting awake now.
You still got more
Getting
energy than me.
awake. Well, that's just normal.
What do you have for us this week? Anything good?
No, it's terrible.
All right, that's our podcast. You can shut it off.
Nobody's going to want to hear this. No, so I have a story about an HOA. This has actually been in the news.
A homeowners association.
And it's been catching my attention. And so I was like, finally, I'm going to talk about it. So if you were out for a walk in the neighborhood and you came across a cute little area for dogs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to show you the picture, what would you think of this?
It's a picture of a tree in a little median between the sidewalk and the road. There's some mulch, wood chips in there, and there's some ceramic pieces, a couple ceramic dogs, a couple of ceramic plates. I would say this person is obsessed with dogs, likes to look at dogs, and thinks everyone that walks by likes to look at dogs also.
Well, this is a little snack station, though.
Ah.
This is for everybody. See, the
So
little statue of the dog is he's holding treats for any dog that goes by. And then there's 2 water dishes for any dogs that go by.
I didn't even notice the water dishes with all those ceramic pieces there. I honestly did not see the water dishes. All right,
It is a little cute dog treat station for everybody out walking their dogs.
I'm fine with it.
And anybody that goes by
I wouldn't complain.
can use it. Well, this man in Raleigh, he created this in an act of kindness,
Mm-hmm.
never expecting that he was going to end up in the middle of a lawsuit. This is in Wake County District Court.
Somebody filed a lawsuit over that.
This is not only a lawsuit that is ridiculous, but he has been fighting it for over 2 years now.
2 years because he put out dog treats in a couple of water bowls and some ceramic dogs.
Yep. So it says Chuck Pringle loves keeping dog treats well stocked outside his home in Bedford at Falls River. Now he's asking a judge to answer one question. Does the HOA have the authority to tell him what he can and cannot do with this piece of land? I put these items in place so that dogs could come by for a drink of water or a snack, he says. The water bowl, treats, and figurines have become a hit with neighbors, as evidenced by home security video. I have never personally received any complaint from any homeowner. The Bedford at Falls River HOA, however, says the snack station's placement is in the city's right-of-way, which it contends it controls under the community's restrictive covenants. The snack station has been in place for 5 years, but Pringle says the HOA didn't get involved until 2020. First, they gave him written warnings, and when he didn't budge, guess how much they threatened to fine him every single day he did not take this down?
$500.
No, you went way above and beyond. They would have loved you. The HOA would have been like, hey, you want to join us? No, it's $100 a day. He said, I think they are overreaching their authority. I think the board has taken it upon themselves to decide they have control over this, when in fact, we don't believe that they do have control over it, he says. So in the HOA, their own rules state that property owned by the city or within the right of way is exempt from HOA control.
So they really have no say in what goes there, what gets planted there.
No. And it says
it's that gray area. It's that area right between the sidewalk and the road. You still are responsible for taking care of it, mowing it, everything else, but it's the city's property.
Yeah. And so it says, to the extent there is ambiguity in the language of the restrictive covenants, the language is to be strictly construed in favor of the free use of land. So that's what he's arguing. I should be able to use it. But of course, the attorney for the HOA says the association has authority to enforce provisions of the covenants, including the pet snack station, placed upon any portion of the properties in order to preserve and protect the common plan and scheme of the development. Which you saw it. Obviously, it's well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cluttered. It's just a cute little spot for people to take their dogs and get them a little treat while they're out for a walk.
We'll put the picture up for people to be able to see it when the episode comes out. But did anybody complain or make complaints? It doesn't sound like they did.
It does not sound like they did.
So this was just during COVID where people were bored and looking for something to do?
I'm really not sure if that's what they were trying to do. This is what they're saying. This is the HOA. It says the association is simply requesting Mr. Pringle move his snack station to property he owns. We are trying to keep the neighborhood consistent and maintain property values, which what in that is going to deter from property values?
Also, if it's on his property, whether it's on that the right of way of land for the city or on his property, how is that going to affect negatively or positively the value of that land?
Exactly.
It's still there on either plot of land.
There. So who cares? Plus, it's a perfect little spot for it. It's like it was made
shaded,
for it.
Yeah,
it's shaded. It's under a tree. It's stinking adorable. So he says, Pringle says the HOA eventually agreed to allow pet snack stations on front lawns instead of the right of way. One of his neighbors has one down the street. However, Pringle says the things on his snack station would not fit in his front yard and could create a tripping hazard. Which in the picture you could see is, I don't know, his yard, it would not look as cute there either. I feel like it would be more obtrusive. People would actually have to go, the way the picture looks, they'd have to actually go up on his property to be able to feed and water their dogs. And he's got grass there. This spot underneath the tree has no grass. It's just mulch. Now I could see them complaining about that, the fact that it's mulch and not grass. If the rest of the neighborhood has grass and he got rid of all that grass to put the mulch in, maybe they've got a complaint, but they shouldn't be specific that it's because of the dog station there. It's ridiculous. So it says Pringle is not budging. So for now, his four-legged friends keep coming by to visit and enjoy the snack station. Pringle has spent thousands of dollars in legal fees. He hopes to recoup the money if he wins. Right now, both sides are awaiting the court's decision on who has authority over this land. But this is why I was waiting to see what would happen with it. So Awake County, we do. Awake County court judge ruled this week against a homeowners association, threatening to fine a homeowner for a pet snack station. Suck it, HOA. Suck it is right. Like, who cares? Especially because it had been there for 3 years before they finally were like, hey, I'm going to go and try to get this guy to move this over to his side. That's why it sounds like the sidewalk. COVID, people are home, not doing anything. Let's go out and see what we can do now. It's ridiculous. And on top of them being just so silly over this, the neighbors that are around there, they're all offering their support to Pringle. They leave him notes saying, Mr. Pringle, thank you for your kindness to all of us pups in the neighborhood. We love you and stand beside you. And then a little bit farther down, he made a comment. Yeah, here. So he says, I was quite shocked at how the story basically went viral to a certain extent. More than 99% of those comments were in favor of my winning the case against the Bedford HOA and PPM, the former management company, which made me laugh because I was like, who is this 1%? Is it just like other HOA board members who are going on there like, no, you are terrible. We're for the Bedford HOA. I'd wager any amount of money that's who it is. So silly and seems like such a petty thing. He will not back down, which I will give him kudos to for that, because this is just ridiculous. Especially according to their own language. They don't have rights to that area. They don't. So they are literally splitting hairs Because, like you said, I think they're just bored from COVID and they're out looking for something. So that was my story.
HOAs are unneeded 99% of the time.
Yes.
And this is one of those 99% of the time where they're unneeded. If the neighbors have no problem with it and they're happy with it, not just the one grumpy old lady that lives down the street that complains about anyone driving 26 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour speed zone.
I just want to take my dog Sally out for a walk, but she wants to stop at his snack station. Does it have to be there? That's what I'm imagining.
I can actually hear someone saying that too. Try to walk him, and every time we walk by there, he has to get a drink. Always wants a snack.
I don't have time for this. I've got to go play bingo.
Bingo? She's got to spend more time finding things to complain about, not play bingo.
No, she's going to go to bingo.
So she's walking her dog.
Before she has to go play bingo, because she's going to go play bingo with her friends to complain about things. Come on,
First
Andrew.
of all, she's walking her dog named Bingo.
No.
Well, in my mind, the
okay.
dog is named Bingo.
His name is Bingo.
Because she loves
think I
Bingo
said
so
Sally.
much. You did, but I'd change the name to Bingo.
Okay.
Because I didn't know beforehand that this lady liked Bingo so much.
Oh, okay.
So if you
That makes sense.
So she named her dog Bingo. She walks Bingo down the road, goes to play Bingo at the bingo hall, doesn't even bother thinking about Bingo. She's just complaining about the dog treats that her dog Bingo wants to eat all the time.
Yeah, and her friends are like, well, do something about it. Complain to the HOA.
So then she gets all of her friends to move into the neighborhood.
I think they all live there already.
No.
They're
None
that
of these
1%.
people do. None of these people do. She's convincing all of her friends one by one to move into this neighborhood, become part of the HOA, so that eventually, after 15 or 20 years, there's enough votes to get rid of this dog.
So it's only been there for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't notice it until 2 years ago in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So she's still got another 15 years. No, another 13 years.
And by the time she gets all the votes she needs,
gonna
Bingo's
die.
going to be dead.
Oh, I thought she was going to die.
Bingo's already 10 years old.
Oh. So her dog is old. Well, maybe that's why she doesn't want to stop and give him a treat, because he takes 5 years to chew it. And he won't move until he's done chewing it. I think we just figured out who it was that made this complaint.
I mean, I'm on the side of the HOA now that we've talked it out.
Who does this guy think he is? Did he ever think of Bingo when he put this up there? No.
She's just trying to get her friends to move in to take over the HOA. That's what this is all about.
Poor Mrs. Hutchinson. Come on.
Oh, Mrs. Bellamy. Name's not Hutchinson, it's Bellamy. It's Mrs. Bellamy and her dog Bingo.
Sorry.
She just wants someone to feed her dog and
mow her lawn. Anyway, that was my story. I thought it was very petty of the HOA. And
most HOAs are petty. I guarantee you we could have
I have
just about petty HOA stories.
I have other stories that we're going to have to do on our little short episodes, just because they're so funny.
All right, well, let's make a pact. You stick to HOA stories. I'll stick to finding stories on Reddit.
No. I disagree.
We at least have to find one about a person that actually has a dog named Bingo.
Okay, I'll find a petty story about a Mrs. Bellamy who has Bingo as a dog.
Bonus points if it's Mrs. Bellamy, but I really want to find one about a dog named Bingo. All
right, I will try.
If anyone out there knows of a petty story of a dog named Bingo, send it our way so Kate can talk about it.
I hope somebody does.
Or if you want to really make our day, go out, get a dog, name it Bingo, get involved with a petty story, send us the story.
Oh, they could raise the dog from a puppy and make the dog super petty. They could get those little, those little words that you can put down for dogs so they can go and push the words and talk to you. And they could just put nothing but like derogatory comments and passive aggressive remarks on their little board. Like you'll come out in a dress feeling like you look really pretty, and the dog Bingo will go over and push the button fat. Ugly.
And that's the petty story they're going to send us? That their dog's petty towards them with how they look?
No, do other things too.
That's just a little side
Yeah,
thing that's going to happen. See all the fun you could have if you get a dog named Bingo?
and teach it to be passively aggressively petty.
Well, if anyone out there wants to take it on, I have a feeling it's going to work out great.
Well, that went off on a tangent. Okay, let's end this episode
All
before we go on more.
So we'll end our episode. Go to letstalkpetty.com. You can download all of our old episodes. You can stream all of our old episodes. You can find all of our social media links. You can email us, leave us a message, fax us if you want to. It's
Rate
all
us.
there. You can give us a rating.
Rate us.
You can buy merchandise there. Support us. Buy a shirt. Buy a sticker.
We're poor. We need it.
Living in the poorhouse here. Brad, that's your cue to buy a t-shirt.
I don't know if he listens to us.
I don't know. We'll find out if someone buys a t-shirt.
Named Brad.
That's our episode. Tune in on Tuesday for our regular episode. Next Friday, we'll have another mini episode, and we'll talk to you next time.
See you then. Thanks for listening. Please be sure and give our show a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. And be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss an episode.